not implement what had the sariqa, yani cutting the hands of thieves, because thieves were very hungry and they were stealing because of poverty and hunger, and famine. So Umar ibn al-Khattab, there is a statement that he said, I was about to to make it compulsory upon every single house of the people of Medina to host another family from the people around Medina until Allah Jalla wa Ala takes this famine and relieves us from this devastated situation. Is there any system in the world that can produce something like this? There is no system in the world. This is a very amazing quotation by Umar ibn al-Khattab. He was about what? To make it obligatory. Yani every single house, take one family with you, host them until we tell you that the matter is over. And then they said Umar ibn al-Khattab didn't do it because the famine stopped or came to an end. This is again part of Islamic finance. Now when people do this, how can people do this if they don't have the right ethical framework, spiritual framework? They can't do that, of course. طيب. Business, what I call it, business-based charity. We know that business is different from charity, as we just mentioned. صح? A charity is something, business is something else. But we just mentioned the ayah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإن كان ذو عسرة فنظرة إلى ميسرة وأن تصدقوا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
Allah Jalla wa Ala mentioned this during the ayat of al-riba. Within the ayat of al-riba. Why? As Allah Jalla wa Ala is telling us that I know that when you deal with people, this problem of deferred payment, and it will become a problem. How can we deal with this problem of deferred payment? One important solution is to this: just forgive people. And even if you just what you call clear the debt completely, this is considered to be sadaqah. Okay? We just explained this. طيب. Proactive measures. We spoke a little bit about zakah, sadaqah. Gifts is part of Islamic finance. No? It's part of Islamic finance. Because through gifts, we can help each other. And don't imagine that the sadaqah is limited to what? To what you give to poor people. But even the hadiyah, when you give it to anyone, is part of your sadaqah. Right? Provided that you have the right intention. And the Prophet ﷺ told us that even the food you give to your wife, حتى اللقمة تضعها في زوجتك يكون لك بها أجر. Okay? Is part of Islamic finance. Now, waqf, endowments. If we want to speak about this, really we will spend time. This is totally neglected in most of Islamic countries. Unfortunately, now in non-Muslim countries, we find that people, they put more attention, to awqaf and trusts, endowments. Is that true or not? They said this London Bridge is financed by waqf. Is it London Bridge, the one financed by London Bridge or Tower Bridge? One of them. Tower Bridge is financed by what? Maintained by what? Someone appointed a waqf to maintain it. During the early time of Islam, not early time of Islam, just 200 years ago, if you go to some Muslim countries, you will find arbita, awqaf, a lot of them. Why? Because Muslims got used to this. And any rich person will make waqf, to finance. One of the amazing things that I came across about awqaf is someone had waqf to spend for what? What can you imagine? Yeah, it was in Morocco. Waqf to finance what? You will never, yani, no one can even imagine it. To take care of homeless dogs. To take care of homeless dogs. Waqf for that. Subhanallah. How come? This means two things. First of all, yani, they had awqaf to cover everything. Right? To the level that they were thinking of the homeless dogs. This is one thing. The other thing is, in the society, we have so many problems, including those homeless dogs that will annoy people. What can we do? طيب. And in Morocco, they don't feel that they are najis anyway. So they need to have a solution for them. Who is going to finance that solution? So he had a waqf to what? To take care of them. Another, when I was preparing for a lecture, just now from my memory, I was so amazed that some of the schools had awqaf, schools, yeah, to finance those schools. And the person who appointed that waqf, he mentioned clearly that make sure that the teachers in this school are paid well. Now we have problem with the imams are not receiving good salaries. صح? Teachers in madrasas and Muslim schools are not paid well. Is that true or not? Lowest payment. They receive the lowest payment. He said, no, make sure that they are paid well. In fact, at that time, he said, make sure that they eat sweet. Wallahi, that they eat sweet. Because it is not right for everyone to eat sweet and they don't eat sweet. So part of the waqf, okay, how the waqf should be spent, the money of the waqf should be spent. They should have this amount of salary. They should have this amount to buy them good clothes. They should have this amount of money to do this. And they should have this amount of money to buy them sweet. Which is something really amazing. Anyway, now I strongly advise people to have awqaf as much as they can. And by the way, long time ago, even before I came to England, when I was interested in these things, I came across a book. The author of that book claims that the system of trust here in the UK was taken from what? From the Muslim countries, from Islam. And he says that there are many similarities. Compulsory help, we mentioned that. Anyway, we can't elaborate long on every single point. Now, when we talk about preventive measures are not limited to the prohibition of riba. There are a number of things that are prohibited. Cheating. Yeah? Cheating. We don't focus on this in Islamic finance. And when we say, مثلا, people do ask, مثلا, I don't want to mention any mortgage product or any specific product, yeah, but they say, is the mortgage provided by this bank? Is it allowed or not? They say, Sheikh so-and-so mentioned this, and Sheikh so-and-so mentioned that it is allowed. They always look at the technicalities of riba, and they forgot about everything else. But cheating is a prohibited act. أكل أموال الناس بالباطل. Allah جل وعلا said ولا تأكلوا أموالكم بينكم بالباطل. Yeah, means eating, consuming the wealth of others for no reason is also one of the things that are included, or that is included in what? Islamic finance. And we should look at that as well. Yesterday a brother asked me, last week, he works for a call center, a marketing company. Yeah, and they do this Do I have it here? Yeah.